My family hurt my child and expected me to stay silent. I took her to the hospital, pressed charges, and ended their perfect lives. My daughter was 5 years old when my sister left a bruise on her face. I dropped her off at my parents' house for a few hours while I went to a job interview. My sister Kelly was living there at the time because her husband left her and she had nowhere else to go. When I came back to pick up my daughter, she was sitting in the corner of the living room very quietly. That was the first sign something was wrong. My daughter is never quiet. She runs to me every time I pick her up. This time she just sat there staring at the floor. I walked over to her and knelt down. That's when I saw it. A dark purple bruise on her left cheek, swelling around her eye. I felt my whole body go cold. What happened? My mother stepped forward quickly. She fell. You know how clumsy she is. She was running and hit the coffee table. I looked at my daughter. Baby, what happened? She didn't answer. She just looked over at my sister who was standing in the kitchen doorway with her arms crossed. My daughter started crying. I picked her up and held her. Tell mommy what happened. She whispered it into my ear so quietly I almost didn't hear. Aunt Kelly hit me because I spilled juice on her phone. I stood up slowly. My mother was already shaking her head. Whatever she told you, it's not true. She's 5. She makes things up. I walked toward the door. Where are you going? My mother grabbed my arm. You can't just leave like this. We need to talk about it. There's nothing to talk about. I'm taking her to the hospital. My sister finally spoke. You're being ridiculous. I barely touched her. She was being a brat and I gave her a little tap. That's not abuse. That's discipline. I looked at my daughter's face. The bruise was already darkening. A little tap doesn't leave a mark like that. My mother stepped in front of the door. Think about what you're doing. If you take her to the hospital, they'll ask questions. They'll call people. You'll destroy this family over nothing. I moved her aside. This isn't nothing. This is my child. I drove straight to the emergency room. They took photos. They asked questions. I told them everything. A social worker came, then the police. I gave them my parents' address. I told them my sister's name. I told them exactly what my daughter told me. They arrested Kelly that night. My mother called me screaming. How could you do this? She's your sister. She's family. Family doesn't hit children. It was an accident. She lost her temper. It happens. You've never made a mistake. Not one that leaves a bruise on a 5-year-old's face. My father called next. His voice was calmer but colder. You need to drop the charges. This is going to ruin Kelly's life. She just went through a divorce. She's fragile. What about my daughter? She's fragile too, and she's 5. There was a long pause. If you go through with this, you're not welcome in this house anymore. You'll be choosing a stranger over your own blood. I'm choosing my daughter over people who hurt her. That's not a hard choice. Kelly was charged with child abuse. She took a plea deal to avoid jail time, got probation and mandatory anger management. She also lost her job because her employer found out. Apparently hitting children doesn't look good when you work at a daycare. My parents blamed me for everything. They said I overreacted. They said I should have handled it privately. They said Kelly was suffering enough without me making it worse. They told the whole extended family their version of the story, that my daughter lied, that I was vindictive, that I wanted to punish Kelly for some old grudge. Half my cousins stopped talking to me. My aunt sent me a letter saying I should be ashamed. For a while, I wondered if I'd made the right choice. Then I looked at my daughter. The bruise faded after a few weeks, but she still flinched whenever someone raised their voice. She still had nightmares about being at grandma's house. She still asked me why Aunt Kelly was so mean to her. That's when I knew I'd done exactly what I needed to do. 3 years have passed. Kelly finished her probation, but her record follows her everywhere. She can't work with children anymore. She can't pass a background check for most jobs. She moved to another state to start over, but I heard she's struggling. My parents still don't speak to me. They send birthday cards to my daughter sometimes, but she doesn't want to open them. She remembers everything. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel sad about losing my family. I feel relieved. These people watched a grown woman hit my child hard enough to bruise her face, and their first instinct was to protect the adults. They wanted me to stay silent so they could keep pretending everything was fine. They called it family loyalty. I call it enabling abuse. My daughter is 8 now. She's loud and happy and not afraid of anything. She knows that I will always protect her no matter who I have to go against. That's what a mother does. She doesn't stay silent when her child is hurt. She doesn't choose family reputation over her daughter's safety. She doesn't let anyone convince her that abuse is just discipline and bruises are just accidents. My family expected me to cover it up, to smooth it over, to forgive and forget for the sake of peace. Instead, I took my daughter to the hospital. I told the truth. I pressed charges. They can call me whatever they want. My daughter is safe.